Hey, this is Janetta. Woo-hoo! Yeah. And you know what? Let me tell you something, honey. I got some special guests. Don't tell me that 81 you can't talk to men. Oh, yeah. But they're young men, and I just love them because they're my future, your future, our future. But before we get started on some topics that we're going to talk about today, we're not going to get real deep. We're just going to give you a taste of honey. Okay? So I am so happy to have you to tune in. So get a cup of coffee, sit down, relax, and maybe call a friend over. But I want to first of all thank all my followers, the people that have subscribed. Thank you so much. And the people that are following me on Facebook and TikTok, thank you so much. I appreciate you, but continue to follow me, continue to like, subscribe, and also share because there's so much information we want to tell you. I want you to know about wonderful Africa. Yeah. So if you're hearing the call in your spirit, don't quiet it. Just buy that ticket and come on over because, hey, it's waiting here for you. And I want to introduce my guest today. I got some special guests today. And it's just really nice. One is from America, from the state of Indiana. And then the other young men, Frank and also Kelvin, they're from right here in Tanzania. So we have a combination, and we got a Nigerian shooting. Yeah. So, hey, we'll start with you, Bill.
I'm Billy Jean East. I'm a student here from Goshen University in Indiana, and I've been studying Kiswahili now for the last year. I was here last year. I traveled all over Tanzania, studying Kiswahili, learning about the culture, learning about my hidden history here, and just really reconnecting with my roots and really learning more and more about Africa, East Africa specifically here in Tanzania.
Hey, Billy, I'm going to ask you this question. Just short before I introduce the rest of them, I ask you this question. Now, if someone told you that you're not African, that you were that place called America, that's where you were forever. But, we know that can't be true because that's where Africans come out of here. Mm-hmm. And we look like the people they call Africans, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Some of us might not look exactly like, but we look like we have that. And you have found out from some of the things we do, we are definitely related, aren't we? Mm-hmm. So if you had the choice, would you want to be an American or would you rather be an African if you had to pick the continent?
Well, in America, they've given us the moniker African Americans, and I always say the African comes first. And the time that I've been spending here, I realize that I have more qualities, similarities, attributes, and things that are African by far outweigh what I believed or thought or the definitions of an American is. But I'm definitely am an African before American by far.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Well, and it's a wonderful feeling, isn't it?
It is.
It's a wonderful feeling. And I want to be a rich African rather than a rich American because they got far more riches over here.
Yes.
They've been digging gold for centuries, and they're still not finished. All right. Now, over here to my left is a young man named Frank. And Frank is someone I have met here in Tanzania, an exciting young man looking ahead for the future. And I want him to introduce himself to you.
Oh, sure. Thank you so much. Thanks for allowing me to introduce myself. I'm Frank. Frank Shabani Othman, born in Arusha and raised in Arusha here. And I would say that I'm very... how should I put this?
Any way you want to.
Any way I want to. The thing is, I'm very happy to have another interview with you again here with brother here. So, brother, welcome to Tanzania. There's there's a lot more you need to see and learn. So I truly hope that you're getting there and you're enjoying your time here. Is it? So yes, otherwise we'll get back to them later for more and more.
Well, there's a lot of things that it feels good because we need to get together and to identify with each other, but we don't want to. Calvin,
Yes.
hey, it's your turn now. Speak up, honey. Speak up.
Okay, thank you. I'm Kelvin Magea. I'm here from Arusha. Yes. And I'm native. I'm Tanzanian. I'm native Tanzanian here from Arusha. So thank you for meeting us again. And thank you for introducing us, our brother from America.
Well,
it's nice to meet you.
with the brother from America, we got some things we're going to ask you. For one thing, we're going to ask a lot of questions. I'm sure that he can think of some, and I know that I have a lot of things that I did not get a chance really. We talked a lot the other day when we got together, Kelvin and Frank, and we talked a lot, but when Bill, he follows me on on YouTube, and when I met with him, it was so phenomenal for him to come over, and so we can talk about what's going on here, because we got a lot of things that are going on, not necessarily here, but we got a lot of things that are going on in Africa and some things that we have learned. Now, Bill, one of the things that we learned since we've been here is about something we thought was probably excellent, the IMF and the World Bank. I thought they were aids and assistance to people that were down and out, and they helped them out. But what is your opinion now, since you've been here, about those aid services?
Well, I haven't done a lot of research on it, but I'll say this about AIDS research and any type of research in Africa that has to do with health. When I came here last year, one of the #1 things that I noticed was the abundance of everything, all resources and food. But one of the #1 things that I noticed is the everyone was so healthy and so strong here in Tanzania. And in Tanzania, they have a saying, "Tuko pamoja," which means we are together. And they help each other consistently. There's virtually no homeless. Everything is shared. If you don't have enough, there's no need to be ashamed to ask your brother or sister for help. And what I'm getting at is that in America, I've watched for many, many years this this ploy to bring health here for AIDS and for sickness. And to me, I think that if you really want to help anyone, a culture of anyone, that you would give to the strongest. So it's really strange to me to pump millions of dollars into this healthcare when Tanzanians are far more capable to distribute that money to those that are already running businesses, that are already that are healthy and strong, and then allow them to take care of the ones that are sick or weak or not healthy, so to say. So I need to do more research, but in all honesty, if you help someone by helping them develop and to continue to develop and evolve their strengths, if you pay more attention to someone's weakness, it lends to keeping them in that space. So I have a lot of mistrust in
what we say, what has been said.
What has been said
about Africa.
What has been said about Africa has been a completely false narrative. And
but that is one of the things that about this system. I didn't know, and a lot of people don't know, that their way of staying healthy was totally destroyed and made illegal during colonialism. So then the Africans start taking on more medicines and things. And so these medicines actually have not done them a service. And now in the United States and in Europe, they're looking more to the medicine the Africans were practicing. They're looking more into herbs.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, they're looking more into herbs because that pharmaceutical medicine is killing people.
Yes.
But here in Africa, and then, you know, the thing about it is that some of these medicines that they get here, a lot of them have been discontinued in the United States and taken off the books. Not only here, I found that out when I went to Costa Rica. And they've been said that they can't sell them or the side effects from them or whatever. So there's not a lot of information available where the people here can really find out about it, but they're being entrusted because they believe that the medicine that they're getting, pharmaceutical medicines they're getting from Europe, is better. But do you know that the majority of that medicine is made to go according to what they need, not according to what we need?
Totally, and that's a very good point, Mama.
Yeah.
Like the needs of Africans are different than the needs of other people in the world, of Europeans or Chinese. Case in point, I found out last year here that there was virtually no coronavirus here, and there was really no distribution of the vaccine. And Tanzanians didn't have the experience that most of the world had, and that deserves a proper study, like what's going on with the collective immune system here, where they were almost completely unscathed by corona while the whole world was in chaos, and they continue to exist.
Well, their leader said, we don't have any. Their leader was the one that took a stand. He told them, he said, if you got it, what you do is you take some ginger and you put some steam in a pot and you boil whatever and sniff that steam and do all this, but you don't have it because it's not true. Well, of course, he didn't live long after he said that.
Right.
But that's what the Tanzanians got on. But the other countries here, except for another country that they developed their own, what you call medicines for it. But that was basically primarily a disease that attacked China and Europeans, because even in the United States. But the whole thing of it is the sunshine, vitamin D in the sunshine. And it bothered a lot of us black people in the United States because we do the same. We don't get sunshine. You know, we need sunshine. And we're not getting it. And so that makes our immune system weak. And that was one of the things. But that virus was predicted. But we don't want to get on that because that's a touchy subject. But the thing about it is that for Kelvin and for Frank, a lot of things are new to them. Did you know that they were put in jail for practicing your natural medicines that you have?
No.
Well, they were. They were where they were told not to. They were made illegal, that they couldn't practice. And so that's even now when I ask people, well, where's the healer? Oh, well, you got to ask this person. You got to ask, like it's some big secret about it.
Yeah, it is, because I think
why?
I think with us here in Tanzania, I would say one thing. It's not like everybody's. It's not like everyone. Them are in a modern way, saying maybe people look at news. Few people would look at news, and there are few cities where people are a bit explored. Some cities, no. So we trust what we hear from the government. Otherwise, it's nothing.
It's nothing.
Yes.
See, that's part. But your government was taking, for all those years up until the 1960s, and even now, really, they're taking what they're getting from where? From Europe, from West, from the West, from America, from Europe. That's where the biggest influence, and somewhat from China.
Yeah, these are we get a lot of loans.
Yeah, but the medicine, that's where you get. That's where you get the lot of loans. That's where your trouble is. When I was looking today, and I looked at it, Kelvin, and I looked at it, and it said that I want to know the poorest countries in the world, the 50 poorest countries in the world, and over half of them were more than half of them were African countries. Why? Now, I'm going to tell you something. Bangladesh is a country, you can look it up. Bangladesh has only thing they have to offer in natural resources are forests, a lot of trees, and gas. No gold, no diamonds, no oil. But Bangladesh is in the high 35 countries as far as prosperity is concerned. No poverty. So give me the answer to that, Kelvin. I want to give me the answer. Why? Do you think Bangladesh people are smarter than you all? What?
Nah, no. The thing is, I wouldn't say that they're smarter than us, but the thing is, it's all about the government. Because us as citizens, there are some opportunities that it's very hard for us to look into or have them openly compared to Europeans when they get into our country.
Okay, but Europeans, according to your government are Africans like you are. Okay, your government are people like you. They have intelligence. Yes, we'll get to that point. But look at this. Everybody keeps looking at they don't look beyond that. Tell me which government over here is totally sovereign, that they run their own government without asking questions and getting help and source from anybody, that they do the directions. Tell me which country. You can't think of it. Because there's basically none. That's basically none.
Yeah, that's true.
Because whoever you owe money to runs you. That's who runs your life.
That's true.
Okay, so let's stop looking so much at the government. These people that are in office, that are heads of office, they are also under operation of a power higher than them. And we won't speak of the power, but you know what I'm talking about. And I think the people in the audience, they know who I'm talking about. Yeah, so these, I call IMF and World Bank loans predatory. And predatory loans mean that you can never finish paying them. You will always owe them some money. They don't even want you to pay for them.
Then you end up giving them land.
Everything. That's what that's
and
what
this
their
has been
concession.
happening for far too long. I've been here. It's my second time in Africa. Africa don't need nothing.
They don't need
We have more things here than I can ever imagine. And I've been around. I've been to Australia. I've been to Canada, all over Canada and Mexico and several different islands. Like the abundance in Africa.
Oh wow!
The abundance in
It's
Africa
unbelievable.
is beyond anything. You have to see it and experience it to believe it. And it ain't just the abundance of resources. It's also the abundance of human resources, like caring for one another, or just like I said, Tuko Pamoja. Like there's so many things here that the world needs, and outside of taking, like there's the scientists all around the world say that the first hominoid, Australopithecus, was found here in Tanzania, Ethiopia, a black woman, Lucy.
Yeah.
So if this is the mother of all of the world, is this how you treat the mother? Like who treats their mother like this? Who takes from their mother? Who doesn't respect their mother? Who tricks their mother out of her things? Like this is very frustrating for all Black Pan-African diaspora all over the world, because we have all been experiencing this trauma from generation to generation to generation
But we
to
got to
generation.
come out of it. And the one thing, Kelvin, what tribe are you?
Pogoro.
Not tribe. What kingdom do you come from? Because we were kingdoms. We were not. Morogoro. And what kingdom do you come from, Frank? Singida. Okay. Now we have to. They divided us up here by tribes. Tribes. They divided us by that and made this tribe is better than that tribe and this tribe. And so it's not so much here, but in a lot of other places, especially when you have a large tribe. The large tribe is better than all the tribes and they should run everything. And so they have a problem with tribalism. And then also they have a problem with tribalism, then they have a problem with religion. Then we're divided for religion. We're Muslims or either we're Christians. Either one of them. And so we're divided with that. We're not together because we've held up. And in the United States, we're divided by religion and racism. And they have kept, there's a mechanism that has worked very well because there has been more tribal problems. Look at what's going on in Rwanda right now. Between Rwanda and DRC. Congo. It has to do with tribes, doesn't it?
Well, I would say this, Mama, about tribalism specifically in Tanzania. Like Tanzania gets a lot of credit because of Julius Nyerere. One of his most successful efforts was to and you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Tanzanians before they consider their tribe, they consider that they were Tanzanians first.
Yeah. And
what he instilled here is something that needs to be, I believe, that needs to be replicated because the tribal language comes second, but you being a Tanzanian, which means we are together first as Tanzanians, is one of the most powerful concepts and things that I've ever come across. And you can feel it. You can feel it all. You can see it, feel it, touch it, and taste it all through Tanzania. And I think Tanzania is a how do I say it? It's a template for other countries in Africa to learn some of these things. And I'm sure other countries have things to share here in Tanzania.
Yeah, well, when we say Tanzania, Kenya is so close to Tanzania. And Uganda is so close to Tanzania. But we have one tribe here that kind of puts them together, and that's the Maasais. And now the Maasais are basically the only tribe of people, the only kingdom, the Maasai kingdom, is the only kingdom that really did not take on a colonial Christianity. They've been taking it on for years, because they want their kids educated and things like that. So they have really kept a lot of their culture and a lot of their traditions and a lot of their names and things like that. And to some extent, I have found some kind of little bitty not being so close to the Maasais as the rest of the people. That they're kind of separate, but just the Maasais. But I have never heard someone say, well, I don't deal with that person because they're a Chaga, they do that. I haven't heard that.
Sure.
I haven't heard that, but we are not, a lot of our governments, not so much here in Kenya, in Tanzania, but a lot of the other governments like Kenya, the two tribes in Kenya have been the ones run the government. Am I correct? Yeah. Okay. So we do have, and in grandson, Nigeria. What about Nigeria? What about tribalism in Nigeria?
Tribalism in Nigeria. Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Or about tribalism, where people, that a lot of them can't get together because of different tribes.
Well, it's not really common in Nigeria. A lot of tribes get married to each other. The only tribalism in there is when it comes to the things of politics. Yeah, when it comes to politics. That's where we want to go because the political aspect of it, the political aspect of it, that's the whole thing about it. But neither here nor there. The culture of our culture. Kelvin, if I ask you to go back past to your great-great-grandfather. Great-great-grandfather, probably great-great, because I could be your great-grandmother. Yes. Let's go back to your great-great-grandfather. So would you be able to tell me his history about him?
Oh, not actually, no.
Okay, see, that's what has happened to us. But Bill, I want you to explain to them that in the United States, when anything goes wrong, crimes or drugs or whatever, whose picture do you see?
Oh, yeah, predominantly you're going to see a black face.
And Bill, how many people are we in the population? About 14%.
Yeah, about 14%.
So it looks like in the United States that only black people commit crimes. So you can't. There's a system that's set up to discredit black people.
True.
And so when you discredit, you say it's the government that did it. They want you to believe that it's the government doing it to you because that's the black people. If you try and turn around and made your president white, they wouldn't be saying.
That would be something.
That would be something different.
That would be something different. That would never happen.
It is. It has nothing to do with their ability, but we have, and in the United States right now, the population of prisoners in prison, as far as the black population is concerned, we would say that at least, 40%, 40-something%.
40%, yeah.
Of our population, especially males, are in jail. Yeah, not because we committed the crime, not because we're the weakest people, the dumbest people, the most crooked people, but that's the way it's been portrayed. So when I talk to a lot of people here in Tanzania, they think that that's what black people do in the United States, is drugs and crime, different crime. We don't take advantage of what the opportunities we have. And so therefore, when a Tanzanian goes to the United States, instead of being with their brothers, they go and they're with the European.
That's true, because another thing as to why people act that way, even it's because through the media.
Yeah.
You know, most of the things that we see into the media shows that all crimes are done with the black people.
Yeah.
And with us, because there's a big population of people who have no education or knowing that what is entertainment and what is not real, because most of the things that people see here, we know it's entertainment, but some people don't get it as entertainment. What they see is that's how black people are when they're in the States. You see, so it's another level, I think.
And it's vice versa here too.
And it's vice versa.
It's vice versa, because over in America, there's black Americans that think that everybody over here naked in the jungle.
They ask me, what'd you wear? They say, what do they wear?
And there ain't no food.
I think there's a tribe in South Africa. I think that's how they do their traditional clothing. Like they will be open up here and they'll just like cover themselves. But they think everybody does that. No, we don't do that.
Well, they don't know that because they just like you don't know.
That's true.
They don't know, and in fact, that's why a lot of Americans, they ask me even, what kind of house do you live in while you're over there?
And that's why they always ask us.
I guess they thought I was up there with Tarzan in the trees swinging.
They'll believe that. Even the advertisement that are made in other countries, they just show that how poor we are.
Yeah.
There's no good thing about us.
No, well, see, that's what I'm saying.
Parks, and with national parks, there'll be Maasais asking for help, and after that, nothing else will be shown. No towns, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Only resources of them getting money. That's the only thing. So
this is the one reason why I want to do what I'm doing over here. This is why I want to introduce them to you and to Kelvin, and I want Bill to be here with me because he can give you the American perspective, so you don't think I'm just flying and dying on me, because really, that's the way it's portrayed. And see, when you come off the plane to the United States, most of you, they come off, we think we just gave you, did you get some clothes at the airport to change? I mean, did you change your clothes? Did you take off your jungle clothes at the airport? And not yet.
With us, with people that are raised here, if we go to countries like America and face racism, I think we will die out of depression, because with us, we normally socialize with everybody. Either we know you, we don't know you, but we do socialize.
Sure.
And this is what I've been seeing even through these platforms like TikTok. There's a guy who was trying to play sick, but everybody kept on passing. Nobody helped. Something that in Africa we will never do that.
I've seen that. Yeah,
not in all Africa. I've been in Egypt. They walk right over them.
That's Egypt.
Okay,
that's North Africa.
It's not even East Africa.
That's North Africa.
Let me speak about East Africa.
Yeah, okay. You talk about East Africa. Don't say Africa, all right.
Yeah, we'll talk about East Africa.
Okay.
Nobody will ever pass you that way. Never.
Well, that not only that, they won't even. It's not that they're going to try to feed you.
Yes,
they're going to try to do everything.
What we raised to, the only thing that we are raised with is love. That's what keeps us going.
You hear that, girls? These men are raised with love.
Yes. Raised with love. Love keeps it going because it doesn't matter where you're from. If I find you across and you need help, I'll help you. Because at times we come across people help us without even knowing that it was at all. Then why wouldn't it be help? Because I feel like other things are just like testing life. That's just testing life. Because if I don't help that person, what about my tomorrow? I don't know what my tomorrow comes with me. So anything can happen. So when I saw that on the platform, then I say to myself, most people here in Africa or in Tanzania, I would say Tanzania, they wish to be abroad. They wish to go to America. They wish to be about that life, but it's not how they think it is.
But they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know, but they think it.
What we see on TV, it's just like how you see TV.
Yeah.
What you see in TV is when you're in America or in Europe is how poor Tanzania is. What we see in TV is about America is how good life is. Like
we don't see that in TV. We just hear it all the time.
We see it.
We hear it all the time. Every time they mention Africa, they mention about poverty.
And with us, when they mention America, they mention about good life.
Yeah,
and it's really reverse.
But when we look deeper and ask people who are coming from America or other countries, they tell you that your country is good, but at times we do have spare time. We do have spare time even to visit our neighbors. That doesn't happen in America or in other countries.
No, you don't even know your neighbor.
People might be neighbors somewhere dead inside for weeks, but nobody knows. But not here. Here, because we're used to see my neighbor going to shop. So I haven't seen my neighbor for the next maybe 2 days or even a day or some hours. It's not a normal thing. Then I'll go knock on the gate.
But
or ask. Let
me ask you, Cal.
But not in America.
But do they all live behind these gates like this? Don't nobody know me here unless I walk out on the street out there because I have all these gates and the tall wall and everything.
The thing is that we have these tall walls, we have these gates, all these things. We just what should I say? We have been learning from the media. These are only short things we just do it, and because of poverty too, people have to do this because of thieves. Because
Well, I can imagine if I'm hungry and you got plenty of food.
Yes, I'm
gonna try to get some. You got 5 chickens in the yard. I'm gonna try to get me a chicken.
Yeah, things like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get me a chicken. You can pray all day long, but I'm gonna get your chicken.
Yeah. So for me, I would say that within our country, people need to get more education, or people need to get more educated. I think education will be key to a lot of things.
But
we should just be open to them.
But education for I'm meeting people that have that education. Yes.
History.
Yes.
First of all, about our history.
We need
education about our resources too.
Yes.
What we have in Tanzania. These are the resources we have. If we open people their minds about the resources that we have, I'm sure there are some people who want to get into it, but people cannot get into something that they don't know. They just keep on hearing. Okay, we hear that people from the government are doing farming. People from all these people, when you hear them, most of them are from the government, connection from the government. But the rest, nothing. How are you going to get a capital for maybe 20 million to invest in a farm?
Well, that's what it's going to happen.
Okay,
so this is the thing. This is why it's a possibility.
For our country, I think they are more based on buying expensive cars than looking into
citizens. One of the things about it is the fact that that's short-sighted. As long as you're buying expensive cars and not taking care of your citizens, then you're not a threat to the powers on the outside.
True.
Once you stop buying cars and you start taking care of the citizens, then you're going to have that leader of those people might be gotten rid of. And they bring some more of mine.
Yeah, because more loans every day. We hear more loans. We hear
because that's like a catch-22. Don't you think so, Bill? It's like a catch-22. So the whole thing of it, just like the Kenyan guy, President Ruto, right now. He's made all these changes, but he cannot go against the man. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
He's getting his instructions from the man. We won't call him anything but the man.
Yeah, there's a man. Always.
So he's getting his instruction for the man.
Yeah.
And the man don't live here.
Yep.
In Africa.
No.
That's where he's getting off the same man that told him if he don't change his laws about homosexuality and all these things, that's the man.
Yeah, that's the man.
If he don't do this, that's the man.
We'll change that.
Yeah, this is the man. You have to have the man. If you don't, you telling me that you're not going to give your people shots, or you don't believe that COVID exists, then I'm going to fix it so you don't have no tourists coming over because you're a danger zone. The man fixes you up.
Mm-hmm.
So once you say, okay, I agree that what you say is true, then the man will take his hand off of you.
That's true.
So it's not all about but let's just say your leaders want to live. Because if they don't, have you heard of neo-colonialism?
Neo-colonialism.
You know what neo-colonialism is? That's what you're under right now. That's what Africa's under.
Indirect,
it's imperialism.
Mm-hmm.
A powerful force wants to guide and take you over and control you, and they deplete you don't have sovereignty. And when you owe everybody, you owe all this money, you don't have sovereignty. So we want sovereignty. But you know what? Let me tell you something, Calvin and Frank. If we get together as a people, and we Americans, Bill, stop acting like we know so doggone much.
Preach.
And we can't come over here and get with our brothers and sisters and work with them. And stop talking about going home and reporting, but they ain't this and they do this and they that, all that kind of stuff like that. Keep your butt home. Stay home. Stay in the USA. Do not bring or go to Italy. Go to some of them slave countries, the people that colonized us over here. You go to those people that you go over there, but don't come over here with that stuff. But if you want to come over here, and we need unity. We need people that want to come here and be a blessing to themselves and be a blessing to the people here in Africa.
Sure.
We want to be a blessing to them. And they don't see enough of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They want to see more of us. I have been asked, why would you leave America and come here? I said, you had to go there and live first. And then you'll ask me, why would I stay in America?
Yeah. I mean, the biggest question, too, to ask someone who says that, why are you even in America? How did you get in America? Mm-hmm. You are everyone comes from a nation. He's a country, Tanzanian, or you come from Italy, or you Italian. Where do black people come from? You black. What does black mean?
Yeah.
Everybody else has a nation or a country attached to them. We don't.
Well,
we just
Americans are black, and over here they're Negroes.
This is the same thing with the history in Australia. I think Australia was almost covered with the black people. Was it the black Indians?
It was the Aborigines.
What they call Aborigines.
They're black, right? They're black.
Yeah, they like Native Americans. They Aborigines. Yeah, they were black. They were.
They are.
Yeah.
They're still black.
They're still over there.
So they took over. So I would say Australia is, there are things like that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, this is the whole thing about it. The only way we can defeat any of this power structure is to be a power within ourselves.
Mm.
And we can't be a power within ourselves if we tell each other, I don't like black men. And women tell, I don't like black men. And black men say, I don't like black women. And I say, I don't like African men. I don't like African women. We got to like each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, first of all, I might fall in love with somebody of another race, but that doesn't mean I don't like my man.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't mean that a man doesn't like a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's a whole lot of things we're so divided on. I'm not African, I'm not American, I'm not black. I'm not black. That's what most Africans tell me. I'm not black.
Or I'm this, or I'm that. I'm that.
Yeah.
Well, back to colonialism, neo-colonialism, what it has done is when you come and take away people's original religion and practices, when you mix up history, when you change the name, some tribes' names were changed because Germany couldn't pronounce it. Yeah. So they wrote it down different.
Yeah.
So when you do all these things, African Americans, displace the Native Americans, what you have done is take away identity.
And that was on purpose. They knew.
Yeah, that's why the whole world is having an identity crisis. And don't know which pronouns to use or who's who or what's what. You know, like it's a collective identity crisis. And I tie it all back to colonialism, neo-colonialism, and imperialism, because it took away everyone's foundational roots.
It did take away everyone's, and we have to understand that. And we have to understand that I'm going to tell you, at 81 years old, the most important thing is not what kind of house you live in. The most important thing is not how much money you make. The most important thing, you should have access to the money. You should have the ability to make the money. But that's not the most important thing. It's not the most important thing. The most important thing is building a relationship, because money can't get in the bed and keep you warm. It can't do anything for you. You know, you need people, you need relationships. And we need relationships. And so, but the money will come if we have relationships. We should be seeking friendship and relationship and building first. And the money is here. The money will come. So we shouldn't be basing everything on what we have and what you have. Now, the thing that over here that I have had a problem with is people call me a Mzungu, whatever that is. I'm not a Mzungu.
But you know what it means.
I know what it means. I knew what it meant before I got over here. A Mzungu.
But I would say one thing with us, with Africa, with Tanzania, and also East Africa, people still don't know that it's a racist name.
Yeah, well, that's you thought
because you call someone by the color.
Yeah, well, see, Mzungu.
Yeah, but with people here, what should I say? It's like in Tanzania, if I don't know your name, I'll call you brother. If I get to know your name, I'll call you brother, I'll call you sister, I'll call you grandma, I'll call you mom, out of respect. So with people here in Tanzania, when they see a white person, the only thing that will come into your mind is Mzungu, because that's what we are fed with from everywhere, from the TVs, everywhere. That's their name. But imagine if we go to them, they call us Nicholas and something else.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's because of, as I say, knowledge, exposure, and education in our history, education in what stuff. We don't have that. And that's why we keep on obeying them. You know, when someone says Mzungu, it's because they obey them. Here, we say, oh, it's a Mzungu, I want the Mzungu money. So that's why there's price discrimination. If it's the white person, there's another price. What we see from them is we see opportunity. That's why we see opportunity, which is not true, because
that's what they have shown you.
Yes. So
opportunity. They have shown you with us is drugs and stuff.
Yes.
But with them it's opportunity.
Yeah. So the more we see that the opportunity, this is where I feel like we get more colonized mindset wise.
Yeah. Okay, what we're saying, and I'm sure Bill would agree with me, Bill, shout out, tell those people in the United States that what we need to do is we need to build our reputation as Black people. We need to let them know that we're strong in business, we're strong in this, we're strong in a lot of areas. We have created the United States. The reason why those people have the opportunities you see is the fact that we did it for them. We built the United States, and we're still building them. There's a lot of things that is done. You know your cell telephone? A Black man created that.
I even had that mathematics.
Yes, you know. And do you know some of the top people, some of the top students in the United States? Do you know where they come from? Africa.
From Africa.
So they've been taking our formulas.
They have been taking that's the truth. And they've been turning them around. They're very good at that. They're very good at that. So we have to realize that. I want people to realize it. But so people are so comfortable in the United States because they can go to the Walmart and they can go, we're making these people richer than richer than richer. You need to come over here and you need to make us rich. You need to make the African rich. We need to be rich. All that money you have that you're just piling up, you're going to die. Or they're going to take it away from you. Or something's going to happen. Or you're going to get sick on that food you're eating over there. They got to pay a hospital bill. So I'm telling you, Bill, you like it here.
I love it. This home is Snubani. I'm back. I've returned. This is the return.
This is a return.
This the real second coming.
This is where
the real second coming is when Black Americans come back home.
Yeah, if you go to the United States, you won't be saying that's home.
You feel safe here.
Yeah. I've never felt it like this. It's not. I don't have words.
Everybody's loving.
We don't even understand what we're under there until we come here. No, we still asking for reparations, which is like
reparations.
Yeah, I know.
Just leave us alone. We got plenty for reparations.
We got everything here.
Just leave us alone.
We got everything here.
Got everything here.
When I was here last year, we did a lot of study in the Historia on colonization and specifically on East Africa, and I didn't know that most of the mineral reserves, 75% of the mineral reserves that was used to produce the Industrial Revolution, which in America, when we start building buildings and that we learned in school, this is when that came from East Africa.
It came from here.
And you got free workers up until then, prior to that, to build the economy. And it's
you're
like,
still getting free workers because they ain't paying them enough money.
Nobody got nothing to say about this. Like,
and wait a minute. Then this is a subject for another time. Then the Kenyan president, Rudolfo, is sending hundreds of workers out of Kenya into Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Germany.
That's because for so long,
I guess it's what you call employment.
Yeah, because for so long we've been able to be sold for servants, to work.
And it's unfortunate we're still sold for servants.
That's right.
Because when a person, people don't know this, and then we can't talk forever, but when a person leaves their country and goes work in another country, if they're assigned to a company, that visa that the person gets will have to be repaid. That trip that he makes will have to be repaid. So when he gets to that country that paid for him to come over and paid for his visa, they will take that money out of his salary to pay back. And if he wants to go home, then he has to pay his way back home. You understand me?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So it's not all of what people say, and the housing and how they live is not the standard, and they have to adapt to things that they don't understand and things that will cost. When you're in Africa, you don't need to buy coats, but you're in Israel, a certain time of the year, you need a coat. Okay? When you're in Germany, you definitely need a coat. So there's some expenses you have, and they don't pay your expenses. They give you a salary, and they even can charge you for your accommodations. They don't give you accommodations and salary with your accommodations. You got to pay for something. You got to pay for your food, and their food price is higher than it is here. Okay.
And I would say other thing is even when it comes to, I've seen how we transport things, because there are some avocados that are transported from here to European countries. Those avocados come from here.
Yes.
Some flowers come from here. There are many things, even in Kenya. There's some shipping that's done in Kenya going to other countries. So I would say you're right. Like, Africa is blessed. We have a lot of resources.
Yes, everything. There's nothing you
just
need.
Dependent on ourselves. And
there's nothing you need.
There's nothing we need.
Yeah, if they close Africa off, you could survive, and Europe would die.
That's right.
The only thing that they made us look that we need them, I think they got past to us when it comes to financially wise, because if financially wise we were that good since the 80s or 70s, we would have been needing them.
Oh no! Well, you have to check out the contracts that they made for colonialism, for their freedom. Well, they made contracts for their freedom during colonialism, just like Haiti made a contract with those French, and they just paid that contract off. In fact, they didn't. The United States refinanced it or something, and they paid the United States the rest of it, whatever. But they paid for their freedom. You paid for your colonialism for them to leave you alone. You paid for it, and you're still paying for it. But that's something that you don't know. They didn't just leave here and say, okay, everybody out of the pool. No, they had investment here.
they stood on those big resources.
Yeah, Barrick Gold Company's been here since 1940.
That's way back.
That's way back. So most of the companies you have around here, Coca-Cola, Barrick Gold, a whole lot of these old companies have been here. They have been here for years. They've been getting diamonds. Just think of the diamonds they get out of, what's the name of that diamond company in South Africa? I can't remember it, but it's been there forever.
Mm-hmm.
They've been getting gold out of here forever. Mm-hmm. They've been, but the young man, the people of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, which we'll talk about it another time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we're going to say goodbye because, I mean, we can go on and talk to you, but you need to come here to see for yourself. And don't worry about how many rooms can it get, where's the house, where's the this, where's the that. I'm going to tell you something. Most of the young people in the schools, your children would learn Swahili very quickly. Very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But they have schools that they don't take, I didn't do my homework because I was tired. Not here. You do your homework. And you can get tired later. The schools don't have kids running around the school carrying knives and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to worry about guns in school. You don't have to have guards and alarms and bells in school. Your child can live. You won't have to worry about coming home one day and getting a call from the school saying your child just got shot. You don't have that kind of worry. Now, we don't have a Walmart. We don't have, what's some other stores? We don't have any of those big stores, whatever.
Yeah.
I can remember Target. And all that kind. We don't have Target and all those kind of things. We don't have that here. And we don't have a Pizza Hut around the corner. We got one, but it's too expensive. But we don't have all that stuff, Popeye's chicken and all that. So there's a lot of things you have to leave behind. But the fact of it is, you bring life to your children. You say, Janetta, well, it costs money. Yes, it does cost money. Start saving some money. Stop spending your money on stuff that you got in the closet that you get too fat to wear and can't wear it, and put it in the bank. Put the money in the bank. You know, do that. Do something. Make some plans that you can change the life of your children. And now they have a lot of things where you can work online. A lot of talent. Many of you young people have a lot of talent, and that talent you can use. You can definitely use, and you can bring it for using it anywhere. And they have people here that to go into business, to do things together. You can do it. You can do it. And it is possible. It's not impossible. But hey, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And we're going to do it, Brother Bill.
We're going to do it.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it, Brother Frank.
It's already
We're going to do it. We're going to do it, Brother Calvin. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So we're going to talk to you next time. And thank you for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed the show and everything. We kind of, putting it together this afternoon. But hey, look forward to seeing Brother Bill, Kelvin, and Frank at another time. Oh, yeah. Hey, this is Janetta, and you're watching Africa Speak